Hello, and welcome to episode number 107 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. We are here Saturday, week 3, February 2021, for the Raw branded Fastlane pay-per-view, and it is the Red brand's final stop on the road to WrestleMania. So the card will very much start to take shape after tonight. And will there be any more last-minute twists and turns on the way to the show of shows? There's only one way to find out, and that's to jump straight into the show. Pre-show match gets a 62. I've just read that Cedric has a gimmick that's getting stale, even though he turned like 2 months ago. But Jeff Hardy scores the win here with a quick roll-up over Cedric Alexander in 16:57. That should get a fair bit of time on this pre-show. And it is Jeff Hardy who scores the win via roll-up. 64 for Jeff and a 60 for Cedric Alexander, so 62 is the perfect score for that. And then just after the match, Jeff Hardy, he's in the ring celebrating when Dio Maddin comes into the ring and he lays him out. And Cedric and Dio Maddin just 2-on-1 assault Jeff Hardy and he's stuck. He's got no backup and Dio and Cedric leave him laying to get their heat back from Jeff Hardy rolling up Cedric Alexander, I guess. The show opens with a 77. Raw Tag Team Titles match goes 17 minutes and 21 seconds, in which the Vega Mafia, Isaiah Swerve Scott and Santos Escobar defeat Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods of the New Day. It says by using a foreign object, but I could have sworn I set Andrade to interfere. Managerial interference. So they decided to say fuck that, I guess, and just decided that they knew that I wanted it to be dirty. But they do have Zelina attached. So it's weird. 61 for Escobar, 70 for Isaiah Swerve Scott, a 69 for Woods, and a 74 for Kofi Kingston. These teams are actually a lot more on par than you'd have thought. That's when Big E storms out from the back. As the Big Mafia said, Big E's like, no, this is bullshit. You don't get to screw my brothers over again like this. Andrade, I mean, you've got a match tonight, so how about you're out here now, I'm out here now. Let's do this right now, and I'm going to prove to you that the New Day is still the strongest brotherhood here on Raw, and that this little mafia you've got yours will come crashing down when faced with a real test of the power of positivity. And we go into Andrade and Big E, the match also gets an 82. Big E defeats Andrade, 15:09 with a big ending, 87 for Andrade, 79 for Big E. And yeah, that's pretty good for an 82, so Big E gets a win over Andrade to avenge his brothers getting screwed over the tag team titles. Very interesting turn of events here as we continue on the fast lane to road to WrestleMania. I'll take that. So the Elimination Chamber gets a 73. And I'm trying to think, because I have two finishes in mind here. I'm trying to think of which one I want to go with, like in terms of order. First out, I would probably actually have it be Charlotte, but like not bury her, like, you know, when that time when John Cena came into the chamber and it took all 4 people hitting their finishers on Charlotte. She'd come in last. Asuka would hit her with that big spin kick. Kairi would hit her with like the sliding D or the spear or something, and Sonya would take her down. Liv would hit the Oblivion, and then Io would hit the Moonsault, and they all just stack on Charlotte to get her out because they know she's the biggest threat. Then Liv would probably go next. Then Asuka, and then the final 3 are Io, Kairi, and Sonya. Sonya eliminates Kairi, and then Io eliminates Sonya last to retain the Raw Women's title in 30 minutes and 8 seconds. 79 for Io, 64 for Kairi, 77 for Asuka, 77 for Charlotte, 61 for Sonya, and a 60 for Liv. All pretty good ratings. This Raw Women's division is popping off, yo. There was another finish that I toyed with that didn't involve Io winning, and I was terrified to do it. I was terrifying even myself considering it, but in the end, cooler heads prevailed. And Io's I'm going to stick to my original path instead of steering off to a different path. It may be predictable, but I don't even know if it is, because I don't think the person that people will think is the predictable opponent is going to... Nah. Anyway, Io retains. She doesn't drop. 82. Number 82 is a pretty good show so far. In 9 minutes, Buddy Murphy beats Elias with Murphy's Law. 85 for Murphy, 67 for Elias. Just a quick win to get him on the road to WrestleMania. And who knows what his future will hold. Will he challenge for the Intercontinental Championship? Will he be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal? Who knows? But the path of Murphy, he's got the momentum on the road to WrestleMania here at the Fastlane. Purge segment. Obviously without Susie because she's got a broken foot or whatever it is. And they're cutting a promo saying that WrestleMania this year will be without the dead man. Because the Purge put him down back at Survivor Series. So it's time for someone new to carve their legacy on the show of shows. And you're looking at that someone. So tomorrow night, everything is legal for the 3-hour episode of Raw. Not tomorrow night, Monday night. Sorry. Everything's legal for that 3-hour episode of Raw. Because the Purge, we're going to make our name at the expense of everyone on Monday Night Raw. So stay alert. Because we will carve our own path to WrestleMania. Because I am the new Phenom, etc. This didn't do as good as I thought it would. I mean, I guess it did do good. But considering the ratings they got, and the ratings that Buddy Murphy and Elias got in a 9-minute match, it was all commentary issues. So then why didn't the Murphy match get dinged for that? Anyway, Damian Priest again helps Johnny Gargano retain the IC title. He beats Ricochet in 22 minutes and 45 seconds with the Hurt Donut to make the third defense of his Intercontinental Championship. An 86 for Gargano and a 78 for Ricochet. A 76 rated match is, I'm going to say pretty good, because it is pretty good. It's just I sort of, in my heart, had been hoping for better. And then the way they celebrate, Johnny Gargano's like, you see, Ricochet, I told you from the start. You're floundering, you're not as good as Johnny Gargano, because I'm going straight to the top, and I'm doing it the Johnny Gargano way, because I'm never dropping this title. Look at these 3 men by my side, we're unstoppable together. And AOP just stood there looking all menacing, and Damian Priest standing behind Oney, listening on, just nodding his head. He's like, yeah, you're not going to stop the way, we're unstoppable.
Who needs to go to sleep when I got you next to me? All night I ride with you. I know you got my back and you know I got you. So come up, lights out, follow the noise. Baby, keep on dancing like you ain't got a choice. So come up, come up, come on, let's get physical. Adrenaline keeps on.
79, and I can see that injury isn't very serious, because it says that Kevin Owens is working through an injury in this match, and he went into this match fully fit. So obviously the pulled hamstring that he sustained in this match isn't going to keep him out, but I do think that match threw the match off a little bit. I think it should have been better, because the match goes 42 minutes and 11 seconds. And obviously we know that Kevin Owens is starting off with Sheamus. I don't know the order they would all come in, but I know the elimination order and by who. We actually go to Sheamus first again. Sorry, Sheamus. Drew McIntyre claymores him, 1, 2, 3. Then, Bronson Reed's going to get eliminated. He's going for a big tsunami splash on somebody on the floor when Randy Orton pops him out of the air with an RKO. 1, 2, 3, the big thick boy is out. Edge then spears Drew McIntyre. 1, 2, 3. He's gone. And we've got Edge, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. Kevin Owens, he just gives Edge the stunner. He sort of bounces off the ropes. And he hits Kevin Owens, rebounds him with a spear. 1, 2, 3 to eliminate Kevin Owens. So the final two are Randy Orton and Edge. Two of John Cena's greatest rivals. And two epic rivals of themselves, former tag team partners. So whoever it is, it would be kind of poetic for that person to go to WrestleMania as the champion if John Cena's going to choose a WWE title. And in the end, Randy Orton, he pulls it out in 42 minutes and 11 seconds to make defense number 2 of the WWE Championship. Kevin Owens pulled his hamstring, but he's working through it because it says down the bottom there that Kevin Owens worked through an injury, took a big toll. 91 for Edge, 93 for Randy Orton, 93 for Drew McIntyre, 78 for Sheamus, 88 for Kevin Owens, and a 74 for Bronson Reed. And Randy Orton is going to WrestleMania with the WWE Championship. And he poses in the corner. Randy Orton got a lot of backstage heat when it was a bonus about, as it was his botch that caused Kevin Owens to get, oh, that's interesting. But anyway, Randy Orton's in the corner. He's holding his championship pie, he's looking at the WrestleMania sign. When John Cena just walks into the chamber. The chamber doesn't get raised because Cena and Orton are in there. And they're like, oh, this is a cool visual. And then Cena's like, congrats, Randy. Who would have thought? Look at us. Hey, look at us. Paul Rudd himself here. And he's like, here we are, 2021. Me and you, we're still at the top of our game. WWE Championship, WrestleMania, Jack. Let's do it. And Orton he says that he has the championship over his shoulder. He's just listening in to John Cena. And John Cena goes to leave. But then when he leaves, he slams the chamber door shut and locks it. And then Randy Orton goes to leave as well. He's like, what are you doing, John? And Cena smashes Randy Orton's face against the Elimination Chamber wall. And he just continues to attack him. Beats him up inside the Elimination Chamber. He's locked the door so no one can get in. And Cena's just throwing him into all the pods. Throwing him against the wall. Probably going to lift the weird little padding mat they've got on the outside now. So we can give him an AA on the actual steel. And yeah, just John Cena leaves Randy Orton laying when people get their pliers and they ply the lock off the chamber door. And then when they open the door, they come in to check and Cena's like, oh my god, thank god. He tried to attack me and it was self-defense. And then Cena leaves and he goes to high five kids at ringside. And he points to the WrestleMania sign. And we get the flash of graphic on the screen. For the first time ever, 1-on-1, WrestleMania, WWE Championship, Randy Orton will try and cement his legacy and try and stop his old rival John Cena from breaking Ric Flair's record. Truly a Hollywood-level main event. 81, that's pretty good. Naturally not as good as I thought it was going to be at the start of the show because Big E and Andrade and Buddy Murphy and Elias tied for match of the night, believe it or not. But what matters more than the actual ratings of this show is what you thought of the show. So let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for No Way Out, which will be SmackDown's final stop on the road to WrestleMania. And the next time we see these Raw stars will be full steam ahead on the road to the showcase of the Immortals. I'll see you then.